How do you select a property?
We have a very comprehensive due diligence process that we follow with every single purchase. So we have to look at the different aspects of the property, the economic drivers behind why we're investing in that city. There's a number of different mitigating factors for that. We also look at the property itself, the age of the building, the physical stature of the building, as well as the return on investment.
So you do a lot of due diligence.
The due diligence package is completely available to you. All the engineering reports, a reserve fund study, we make mandatory for every single property we become involved in. So how do we select a rental revenue property? So there's keys in selecting the right property, and that's due diligence. I made reference to due diligence earlier, and I want to spend a little time so you understand what goes into selecting a property, perhaps one over the other, or even the due diligence that is required for you selecting your own principal residence. So the first idea is market appreciation. Know when to buy. So in recessionary times is not always the best time to be buying real estate, but as the country comes out of a recessionary time, our economy starts to growing, then is the time to buy. So this is perhaps a global scale, but understanding the market where you're buying and when the proper time is. So as Street Smart Investing, we look at these factors in different economic regions. We help you diversify your portfolio by owning real estate in different economic areas. So rising rents and property values, now is the time to buy. Where? Certain areas provide a different answer to that than the area that perhaps you live in. Diversification by location is also a result of knowing which market to buy in. So not every city is going to perform the same at the same time. So city A is the dark blue line. The opportunity to buy is a different time than city blue, the light blue line. So understanding different economic reasons, different drivers perhaps, would determine where we're buying. So we buy real estate in Canada coast to coast. We follow the economy, we follow the different economic drivers, and diversification is key in our portfolio. You never want to have all of your properties in one particular area for fear that there's a financial loss. Having a diversified portfolio is important so you never ever experience a major loss. So let's have a look at the due diligence process. Wow, there is a lot here, and I'm not going to go over each item, but what I will do is I will break it into the three areas that we identify. First is the location, the region, why we're in that area. Next is about the actual property itself, the physical property. And the last one is the investment research. So going back to the region, why? What are the demographics? What are the local rent rates? What is the current sales? What's going on in that community? Why are people there? Is there in-migration? Is it sustainable? Is it a cycle city? All of these different things we cover off in the area research. There's many different areas we go to get our information, all of which are available through CMHC, the Conference Board of Canada, all different statistics we use to determine the region for which we're looking in. Next is the actual property, the physical building. What is the age? What is the air conditioning system, the plumbing? How old is it? What are the floor plans? Does it work for our model? Is it a rental opportunity? If it's currently a rental building, and I'm talking apartment buildings here, what condition is it in? Is there going to be a major renovation package, or are we looking at brand new opportunities? In-migration cities across Canada now has provided some brand new rental opportunities that certainly helps with the due diligence when you're buying or building brand new. Last is the investment research. This is where you should be most concerned with your return. This is an investment for you. So what are the costs, the lawyer costs, the property management costs? What is the budget? Being involved on the board will allow you to have much more say in the condo budget. Managing your investment property is a very, very important thing. Rental property management, reserve fund study, this is something I like to highlight, that in every project we get involved in, we like to craft a reserve fund study for 25 or 30 years based on an engineering report. So this study is soon becoming mandatory across Canada. It's not currently mandatory in every province, but we make it mandatory for you as an investor, but more importantly, for me as an investor, before I decide this is a building that I would buy into. So the condo budget is crafted from the reserve fund study. So those people sitting on your condo board get to see the reserve fund study, and perhaps if it's the hallway carpets need to be replaced every 8 years, you know that the money is in the budget to replace those carpets. You have a very well-maintained budget, a well-maintained building, and that makes it happy for the tenants. You as an investor as well. So understanding what your return on your investment will be, there's a lot of different factors here that help determine a good investment from a bad investment. Again, I said earlier, full transparency. All of these reports, all of the due diligence items that you need to make the decisions are going to be made available to you. We'll also give you things that you probably haven't thought to ask. We'll give you a list of questions that you should ask to get all of the information here. So now, how do we determine which building, say of these 4 buildings here, StreetSmart would invest in? So I have a picture of a hopper here. All of this information has to go into and be processed before we come out with which of these 4 buildings here would be a model that I could present to you as an investor. So looking at all 4 of these photographs of buildings, we talk about location. Where is the building? Where is the region? What's going on? What is the quality of property? Going back to my due diligence report, you saw the items that we look at to determine the quality. The age of the roof, the positioning. Engineering report. This is something that we would pay to have done, and the engineer would do a survey on the building and identify every single moving part, if you will, on that building. What the age is, what the life expectancy is, what the current condition is, whether it needs to be addressed now or needs to be addressed in the future. These are expensive reports. Depending on the size of the building, we could be spending $30,000 to $50,000 for an engineering report. This is something that would help determine whether or not this is a good investment. Mechanical report is a result of the engineering report. All the mechanical, all the moving pieces, the elevator, the doors, the sliding doors, all of those type of things, the boiler system, the plumbing, the electrical, that type of thing would be highlighted and addressed in the engineering report. So the reserve fund study I spoke of earlier is a result of these 2 reports, and it's for us as condo board to make sure we have enough operating money in the budget annually to address the things that are coming 10 years down, 4 years down, perhaps next year. Is there enough money in the condo budget to repair these necessary repair items based on what we find from the reports? So environmental studies. What's going on in the neighborhood? Is there a water sewage treatment plant being built across the road? What is the official city plan, official community plan as it is? You determine through the municipality what is going on environmentally around that area. Something we need to know, we address through the study any concerns we foresee. So then, property management. Property management and tenant mix, again, is a very, very key component to us having a good performing investment. So our job, again, is to manage the property management company. They take care of the tenants, tenants concerned, and screening of tenants. So we take all of this information, we put it all into the funnel here, and what comes of it? So research and due diligence will identify a well-selected property. Out of those 4, this is the one here that would have won. So having looked at all of these different items, the entire list of what's on the due diligence process helps us discern whether this is a project that we would first buy in ourselves and or offer to our clients as an investment opportunity. Going back to the full transparency, all of these things are available for you to read and study so you can determine whether this is a good investment for your portfolio. If this is something that you're interested in, we can provide you with a well-researched property and let you decide if this fits with your next investment model.